Hey guys, so Sphinx here. Hey guys, in our Cardfight Vanguard area deck profile. So this one will be for Blau. I usually just go with these old decks by the old ride chain, not the new support, but I figured I'll take an extra bit of time and kind of get used to the new support and see what it all can do. So rather than focusing on the ride chain variant, we're going to be focusing on the new support variant. So really, when it comes to Blau, there's three options. There's Blau Younger, which is the right chain, which we're not doing, which leaves us Morganrot, which it's it's okay. It's kind of +1, and when attack with Blau and in the name hits Vanguard, search your deck for up to 3 cards. Search your deck for the top 3. Search the top 3 from your deck for Blau, reveal to opponent, put in your hand, shuffle. But this one, Young Bluffetter, kind of +1, put this unit into your soul, which soul is pretty important in this deck. If you have Vanguard with Blau and its card, you reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck and put it to one grade 1 or greater card with Blau and the same from your deck to hand and shuffle. After of course returning the rest. So it's in my opinion, I prefer this one to Morganrot just because it's more cards. It's an extra card you get to search off of. And it builds soul, which again, it's pretty important for this deck. So there's that. I'm actually running rainbow triggers. So anyway, that's it for starter. Moving on to the triggers. I'm actually running rainbow triggers for crit, for draw, for stand, for heal. So for the crit is Sar Blagance. This is actually an amazing critical trigger. It's even better enough. It's even better to me personally than the put it in Soul 5K draw 1 cards that we're used to seeing for the 4K triggers, effect triggers. So activate on the River Circle, Generation Break 1, Counter Blast 1, and put this unit into your Soul, which again is pretty important for this deck. Choose up to 2 cards in total on your circle or in your damage zone and turn them face up. So it's basically you're counter blasting 1 when you hit GB, when you hit the generation, the whole generation part of the game. So it's like mid to late game. You're counter blasting 1 to unflip 2, which is amazing. And of course, it still goes into your soul, which helps with the soul. So it's more or less a free unflip. This could very well unflip all your damage if you only have one. If you only have one counter blasted, you counter blast one, choose a skill, unflip, and then you have 2 unflips, meaning you're completely free to use up all your counter blasts, which is amazing. I just really like this card. Moving on, we have 4 copies of Orchis Brock Racer, Blau Cruiser. Blau Cruiser is just a Marble clone. After in the Vanguard Circle, put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your units and gains plus 3k power until the end of the turn. Again, it's a draw trigger, and I kind of like Blau Cruiser just for the sake of it being a draw trigger, and that helps this deck with drawing your cards, since some of our cards actually, I guess it's just some of our strides actually make us discard our cards. Plus, we're going to be calling out most of our units anyway from hand, so we're not going to have that many in hand, so this just helps with that. Moving on, we have 4 copies of Starker Wind. So auto in the rearguard circle when this unit attacks. If you have a Vanguard Blau in its card name, this unit gains plus 2,000 pounds to the end of that battle. For all you care, swing with this guy. All these 2, swing with Orchis, Brock Cruiser, and Starker Wind together, and it's an 11k column. It's stupid how easy it is to make a column, even if it's just 5 to guard with this. It amazes me every time. There's that. If one of you guys, I'm sorry, if you guys don't want to run one of these cards, like if you want, honestly, I'd say take out Starker Wind if you're thinking of not running something, as opposed to Margar clone. Just take, I guess, Starker Wind out and put in the Red Lightning. 4 copies of Red Lightning if you're really wanting to play a Rush variant, but maybe Subliminal Gray, but I like Starker Wind. And moving on to the heal trigger, we have the new Bind heal trigger, which is, or as I call it, the anti-Narukami heal trigger. because it's basically what it does. It screws over the whole Thunderstrike ordeal by binding it face up. By binding 2 cards face up. So auto bind this card face up and choose another card to heal from your drop set and bind face up. So basically bind 2 face up heal cards. Bind 2 heal triggers from your drop set face up. And when this card is discarded for the cost of calling G Guardian, you may pay the cost and you counter charge 1 or soul charge 1. Which is very great in this deck. Usually you obviously just go for the counter charge, but in this deck it doesn't matter, honestly, which one you go for, because they're both about as useful to you. Because your counter charge is very precious to you, but at the same time, it's one of those rare instances where your soul is also very rare to you, are very precious to you. It's a very rare resource, so there's that. So that's it for our triggers in grade 0 lineup. So our grade 0 trigger in grade 0 lineup as a whole. We went to the grade 1s. This is where it gets a little interesting. I'm running 18. First off, I'm running this 2 standard Tough Boy, just because I like that AK base and I don't have a better ride target, to be honest, that I actually like seeing as my Vanguard for grade 1. Also, you could just call it down and rush with it, I guess, but whatever. Move on. 4 copies of Venus Blau Krieger. This is just the GB one. Activate on the rearguard circle once turn, generation break 1. When your other rearguard stand due to the effects of your Vanguard Blau and its card name, stand this unit and it gains plus 3,000 power until end of turn. So it stands for 10k boost. It stands as a 10k booster, which is amazing because this is a 10k booster behind this, which is 9, so that'd be a 19k column, and then that would, with Blau Cannon's skill, it's 21. And of course, it could be up to 26. So, that's an amazing column right there. That's a super magic number because that's 20 on its own to guard, a rear guard column. And it's 1. God forbid you actually have 2 of that exact column with that exact same combo going on. That's going to be 40k to guard just the rear guard column, so probably restand. And, it's just awesome. It really is. Moving on, we have 4 copies of Vesta Blaukling. So his skill is continuous on rearguard circle during your turn. If the number of cards in your damage zone is more than or equal to the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone, this unit gains plus 3,000 power, which is amazing because you're actually benefiting off kind of, I hate to say, but losing the game or being at a disadvantage. That's nice. And activate on the rearguard circle once turn, generation break 1. Hand blast 1, reveal the top card of your deck and put it into your damage zone face down. If you put a card with Blau in its card name, this unit gains plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. At the end of the turn, choose a card from your damage zone and heal it. I know some people are going to give me flack for running this, but it's actually very useful because if you're at 3 damage, just gets you to your limit break. And also, it allows you to make this guy even bulkier, making this guy up to 14k booster, which is actually insane. And you do end up healing the damage anyway. The only problem is that you're using up a counter blast to use it, but other than that, it's just an amazing card. Obviously, Tough Boy is your main ride target. I guess your backup ride target would be Blauklinge. But you know, it's just whatever. You always want to be riding Tough Boy. Just keep it in your mulligan, honestly. Keep it for your mulligan, I guess I should say. Don't send it back if you are lucky enough to have one of this in your opening hand, and if you mulligan, of course, you're not going to anyway, but try and keep Tough Boy. That way you can ride it. Moving on, we also have 4 copies of Stride Fodder. We're using this literally for just Stride Fodder because we're not running Victor, of course. And, there's actually 2 Blau Perfect Guards, just Blau Dunkel Height. It's just your standard, Nova Grappler, PG, but I like this one more. Avarna Blauvant. So first off is its Sentinel skill. Choose a card from your hand, discard it. When this card is placed in my circle, if you pay the cost, choose one of your units of Blau in its card name. It cannot be hit until the end of the battle. Since pretty much all your units are gonna have Blau in its name, it doesn't matter, honestly. because it can guard pretty much anything, and it cannot be hit into the end of the battle. And if there's a sentinel in your drop zone, choose one up to one of your rear guards with Blau in its card name. Until end of turn, it gets resist, and this unit cannot be hit. So it just is basically immortal for that turn. Because it can't be killed by battle or card effects. And it can't even be locked, so it's just amazing. Probably one of the best PGs in the game. I know I've said that a little bit of a lot lately, but really, this is amazing. The ZTB one, the Luard one, the Cargo one, it's definitely the top 5 best PGs ever existed in the game, so there's that. Anyway, that's it for the grade 1 Moving on to the grade 2s. I'm only running 7, which is a dangerously low number, because that means you could miss it for your ride change and have to G-assist, but it's okay. So you have 3 copies of Uranus, Blau Kruger. Let's be mature here, please. Auto on the rearguard circle. When your unit with Blau and its card name is placed on your Vanguard circle by riding or stride from a grade 3 unit, until end of turn, this unit gains plus 5,000 power, making it a 14k on its own. And auto on the rearguard circle, once a turn, counterblast 1. When your Vanguard's attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you do stand this unit. So this would be 14 on its own, of course. Supported by this would be 21. Of course, that would be 23, 28, and it would stand. So it's a 28k swing. It's still 20 to guard, and of course, it's going to restand. So there's that. Or you could put it in front of this, which would make it to where it's going to be. Let me see. It's going to be 9, 14. 9, 14, 21, 24, so it's a little bit weaker. However, when that restands, this will as well, so it's another 24k column. So it's still going to be 15 instead of 20 to guard, or they'd have to guard 15 twice, so overall it's a little bit better to have the grade 2 Blau Kruger with Venus behind it, or the 2 planet Krugers, if you want to think of it that way, supporting each other, so there's that. There's that little combo. Also, we have 4 copies of Blau Cannon. Continuous on the rearguard circle. If the number of cards in your damage zone is more than or equal to the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone, this unit gains plus 2,000 power. So again, it's kind of like the grade 2 version of this card. Blau Clinge. Only it's better, as you'll see. Oh, excuse me. My sincerest apologies, people. I know that could not have been fun to listen to. Activate on the rearguard circle once a turn. Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1. Reveal the top card of your deck and put it into your damage zone face down. And if you put a card with Blau in its name face down, it gains plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. And at the end of the turn, choose a card from your damage zone to heal it. Another combo that you can do is if you damage check a perfect guard, first of all, rip. But second of all, it's okay because you just heal that off. And then you also have instant access to Varna's skill whenever you guard with it. So there's that. Or if you really need to, you can even do it with the heal. If you somehow damage check the heal early on, and that makes you want a KYS, but it makes a KYS a bit less because of course you'll get his skill as well. So is that being active also, which is very nice. And plus, on top of that, he just swings for big columns, honestly. So it's very good. Obviously, you want Blau Cannon as your ride target, because you have 4 of that and only 3 of this, but whatever. So that's it for the grade 2 lineup, since we're only running 7. Moving on to grade 3s, we're running 8. 4 copies of Nevermind Blau Kruger. First off, I want to give huge shoutouts to Mont Blau Kruger for being Mont Blau Kruger. However, at the end of the day, I just didn't feel it. I just wasn't feeling it, man. Yeah, 20 is okay when it's supported by a beefy person, like one of the grade 2, either of the 2 grade 1s that are 7k base, but I don't like it as much as I like these other two. It's mainly due to the power creep of the other card, just basically making this one worthless, which is basically what power creep in and of itself is, but whatever. So 4 copies of Neumann Blau Kluger. So auto on the Vanguard circle. During your turn, when your G unit of Blau and its original card name Stride, choose up to one of your units of Blau and its card name, and until the turn against another plus 5,000 power, which on its own is already amazing because you're striding. You're not paying at all for the let me just see if I can actually. Yeah, okay, so you're not so the best part is you're not paying any counterblast for this card or anything. You're just getting it to get. You're just giving it free plus 5k, which we've already gone over the columns. This is going to be 5. No, that'd be 5, 7. That'd be 16, 21, 28, 31, 31 boosted without triggers. That's that's absolutely stupid. That's for a rear guard column for Blaus. That's dumb. And it can both stand. 31 again. 25 to guard a rear guard column. Comes back and it's like 35. 35 to guard. That's I love this deck so much. And it's not even getting into its second skill. Auto Counterblast 1. When a unit with Blau in its card name rides this unit, you may pay a cost, and if you do, ship the 4 units with Blau in its card name and stand them until end of turn. They get plus 5,000. They all get plus 5,000 power, which is more and more and more and more damage stacking. Well, I guess I shouldn't say damage stacking. I might as well say damage stacking because no way they're gonna guard all of it. But power stacking is just amazing. Especially in this deck. Move on. The 4 copies of Ullman Blau Kluger. Auto limit break 4 count plus 1. When a unit with Blau in its original card name rides this unit, you pay the cost if you reach 20 Vanguard until end of turn it gets plus 10,000 power and auto on the Vanguard circle. When this unit attacks Vanguard, not hits when it attacks, if the number of rear guards you have at stand with Blau in its name is 3 or more for that battle, your opponent cannot call cards with the Sentinel ability from Vanguard in circle. Sentinel nullifies literally everything that nullifies perfect guards, quintet walls. The only thing that doesn't really nullify is G Guardians, but whatever. And it also has a second skill of auto in the Vanguard circle, so less on Blau. When you rear guard Blau and its card name writes this attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay a cost and you counter charge 1, which is very nice. So there's that. I really like that a lot, just because, yes, you're using up your soul, but you're getting counter charge, so you're basically having infinite loops to use your combos with, and I just really, really, really like that. Before we get into stride units and the generation zone in general, I do want to give a little bit of a shout out, not as big a one, of course, to Mars Blau Kluger. He was basically the precursor to this one. The only problem is, of course, the fact that he just wasn't as good. These 2 cards as well, they were okay until they got power crept to, well, basically from the underworld and back all the way to heaven, fell back down to Earth, resurfaced, circled the planet 5 times, and still, we're still bad. So there's that. Anyway, moving on to G-Zone. A massive 1 copy of Annihilation Machine Beast Demo Slayer. Demolizer, or however you want to pronounce it. This card is basically just nothing. But it's just kind of there to fill up space. And there's no real other card that's best as a one of. So yeah. Activate the Vanguard circle once a turn. Choose 2 of your rear guards and rest them. Draw a card. Soul charge 1, and until the end of turn, this unit gains auto on the Vanguard circle count plus 1. When this unit attacks, not hits, you may pay the cost and you do choose 1 of your rear guards, stand it, and it gains plus 3k power until the end of the turn. So there's that. It's just a good one of. It can even be a good first stride if you need it to be. So there's that. Move on to your second stride. You have 2 copies of Meteor Victor. because regardless of what Novographer deck you're playing, you should always be running 2 Victor. But just because it's such an easy GB3, honestly. And even if it's you're not at GB3, even if it's your first stride, it's still a good stride. So activate on the Vanguard circle once you turn. Choose a face down card named discard, so Persona Flip. And until the end of the turn, this unit gets auto on the Vanguard circle. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, choose up to one of your rear guards, standing against plus 5k power, and auto on the Vanguard circle down GB3. When this unit's attacks a Vanguard, choose up to one of your rear guards, stand it as well, and it also gains 5,000 power. So again, it just goes back to making big columns and hitting hard and doing what Novographer does best. So there's that. Moving on, we have 4 copies of each of the Blau strides for Blazer Blau Kluger, which is auto on the Vanguard circle, limit break 4. Counterblast 1 and choose 2 cards from your hand and discard them. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, if you have a heart card with Blau in its card name, you may pay the cost, and if you do, put this unit face up in your G-Zone and choose up to 1 grade 3 card with Blau in its card name from your hand and write it as stand. This is just really good for running from going to grade 2 to grade 3 riding this one, since it's got the stride skill. Striding into this one, and striding into the Blazer. That way, you get your stride bonuses and whatnot. And then at the end of the turn, you counterblast 1, discard 2, and you get your superior ride your stride fodder. Not your stride fodder. I'm sorry. Your limit break, your break ride enabler. I meant to say, and then you go back next turn and break ride onto Nerman to Blau Kluger. It's just an amazing combo, honestly. It does get a little bit expensive, but it's okay. Because it gets better. Also, if you do put this unit face up, then you I'm sorry. I'm just rereading the old part of that card, but still. I just think it's a great combo enabler. Allowing you to do it again next turn. Shows that. Again, you don't have to. If you want to like Busted or something else, that's fine. But I just want to make this as pure a Blau deck as possible. Like I do with most of my decks. And finally, we're running 4 copies of Sony Black Kluger for the Blau units. Auto on the Vanguard circle, counterblast 1. When this unit attacks, if you have a heart card with Blau in its card name, and you pay the cost, and if you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 card with Blau in its card name, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, and until the end of the battle, this unit gets auto ultimate break. Choose 3 cards from your hand and discard them. At the end of the battle, you may pay the cost, and if you do, put this unit into your G-Zone face up, and superior ride a grade 3 card from your hand as stand. That way it can still attack. So you basically get 5 drive checks, which is amazing. So it's basically like you're extensively not getting a drive check with this guy, but it's okay because you're getting the twin drive, and again, you're deck thinning by 5, which is good. Shows that. And overall, it's just very good. Besides that, we're just moving on to the ultimate stride, because that's it for the stride. It's just a 1 of Stark, I'm sorry. Just because, why not? And finally, that's it for the stride units and generation units in general. Besides the 4 copies of Unial, which is the G Guardian. Auto when this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle. If you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, counter charge 2, and it gains plus 5k shield. And auto when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle. If you have no cards in your soul charge 2, and this unit gains another plus 5k shield until end of turn. So if you have no face-up cards in your damage zone and no soul, counter charge 2, soul charge 2, and plus 10k, which is amazing. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your host, Cardmaster Phoenix, signing out. See you guys next time. Have a good one.